Hello, Happy New Year! Let's learn today first 2024 granny square design. If you need instruction how to make basic granny square, I will leave link below because in this tutorial I will not show every step how to make this square. This tutorial is how to make the design when you're changing colors. So we need 2 different color yarn and we can start making this design. This design is created by making 2 rows in one color and 2 rows in the second color. So I will speed up this process and I will meet you once I'm done with my 2 rows. Again, if you need detailed instruction how to make the granny square stitch, the basic one with one color, there is a video on my channel and I strongly suggest to watch and practice first because in 2024 we will be learning 24 different patterns of changing color while we working our granny square stitches. As you see, I already start my second row and I will slow down the process once I'm there. Today I'm using hook number 7 and the yarn I'm using is Pound of Love by Lions brand. I'm using color white and I will be changing to Oxford Grey. I am almost done with my row number 2 and I will finish as usual by slip stitch. Now I want to change my color because this design you're changing color every 2 rows. So in this case I do not carry my yarn up. Therefore, I just cut my yarn and hide the stitch. Take a needle, thread your yarn through, and let's make a seamless connection. In order to do that, you will not go right away under your 2 loops. That will be too close. What you want to do instead, you go under the next stitch, under both loops, you're recreating the top portion of your stitch, then you're going back to the same loop, recreating the other part like your back loop. So the first time you put your yarn through under the stitch, you recreated the front loop, and now you recreated the back loop, and that's your seamless connection. All the stitches looks identical and it's very pretty end of your work. And does not matter if you're finishing the second row, the third or the fourth one. I am always using this method to hide my ends because I feel like my project looks nice and neat. So let's cut the yarn ends and we will connect our gray color yarn. But before we do that, let's look what we did. So we did our 2 rows and they look a little bit different only because our row number 3 will eliminate some color in the row number 2. Okay, so normally some projects I will use slip knot to connect my yarn, but with this project I will not use slip knot. I do not want to have this bulky knot behind my stitch. So I will connect yarn just by moving my hook into the space, and you can choose any space, and pull yarn through. And I start making my stitches. That way I do not have bulky knot behind and I will be able to connect that yarn tail seamless again, and I will show you how to do that. So I will speed up this process again because how you making stitches did not change. And again, if you practice how to do the basic stitch, you will be fine, and I will meet you at the end of this row. Because in this tutorial, we're learning how to change yarn color only, or how to carry yarn through your project. So I'm almost done. This is my yarn tail, not secure yet. And I will finish my last cluster of 3 double crochet stitches and chain 2, and then I will connect my yarn tail to the project so we'll be secure going forward. So I'm making my slip stitch, and my row number 3 is completed. And before I move to row number 4, I like to secure my tail. So what I will do, I will thread this yarn tail through my second chain. First, making the full loop, so it looks like I have full stitch, and then I go in between my stitches, changing direction of the yarn, making sure that I go between the fibers to hide my ends as I will normally do. Once my stitch is secure, I just cut the yarn tail the closest to the project as possible. And also, if you touch your beginning, there is nice and soft because there is no slip knot there. So it's very nice, seamless connection. Okay, so we have one more row to do, and I believe you'll be able to do this on your own. So again, I speed up this process, and I will meet you in the end to show you one more time how to hide our last yarn tail. I have a few more stitches to do and I will be done. Please let me know if you have any questions about this project, and what other pattern design would you like to learn first. I am randomly selecting each pattern, but if there's interest for one particular one, I will post the video sooner than later. Okay, so we are done. Look at that. We make this beautiful design. And now, because you know already 2 different granny square stitch, you can make your nice, simple but beautiful blanket. So let's hide the end again. Once you cut your yarn, you pull your hook up, removing the yarn tail. You thread your needle, and then you go under 2 loops. You're creating the front loop of your last stitch. Then you're going back, and I usually go right away in the back to hide my ends. And then I will create my back loop. And that's what you see, the seamless connection. And then I just hide my ends by working that tail through my stitches, through the fiber of the yarn in different directions. And I don't know why, but I always do at least 3 times. That works for me. Let's cut the yarn and we are done. This is our wrong side and this is our right side. So they look identical with the exception of the stitches having, wrong side loops on the wrong side. But you can make now as many as you want. You can change The colors you can make as colorful as you want, but you know now how to make those two granny square patterns and your blanket will look beautifully. Please give a thumbs up if you like this video, and I hope you learned something new today. Thank you for crocheting with me, and I hope I will see you soon. Once again, watch this video and let me know which of these would you like to learn next.